I started to have these kind of weird situations in Hollywood that I never had before. So for instance, I was asked to come in and pitch a rewrite of a famous scary movie. And I went in and I did the pitch. It was the best pitch I have ever done in my life. I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you're talking and suddenly you realize you are just on a roll. It was the best pitch. And I just thought, oh, I'm golden. Nobody else is going to get this movie. This is terrific. I knew I was going to get the picture. And I finished the pitch and wound up. And the guy looked at me and he said, "That's great, but could you make the villain the American military?" I said, I actually just blurted out. I said, "We just went to war. The American people don't want to see our military portrayed as villains while the boys are being shot up in Afghanistan." Thanks for coming in. I was gone. I was out in the parking lot almost before I finished this, almost before the sentence was out. I was ushered out the door. Happened again when Mitt Romney was running against Barack Obama. A famous director found a script of mine, an old script that had been bouncing around for a couple of years, wanted me to update it. He brought me in. In the first 90 seconds, he said to me, "The Republicans don't care about Mitt Romney. They just want to get the N-word out of the White House." And he didn't say N-word. He said exactly what he meant. And I said, "That's ridiculous. It's so much more complicated than that. Thanks for coming in." I was gone. I started to write about the fact that Hollywood was making movies about anti-war movies while our boys, our men and women, were fighting in the field. And, during the Vietnam War or after the Vietnam War, they wrote famous anti-war films like Apocalypse Now and Platoon, but everybody had come home already. The war was already over. Now, while our guys were actually getting blown up and shot at, they were making films about evil American GIs raping Iraqi women, committing murder, going crazy. And I started to say, that's wrong. You're perfectly welcome to hate the wars and oppose the wars, but you can't make propaganda for the enemy while our guys are getting shot at. That's despicable. And I even went to Afghanistan. I had myself embedded with the troops to give myself some authority to speak about this. My phone shut down. I thought it had been disconnected. I mean, it stopped ringing so completely that I started to call my agent and say, "You think I'm being blacklisted?" "Oh, no, they don't. No, nobody in Hollywood cares about your politics. It's all about money." I thought, I don't know. That was awfully quick and awfully complete. My income, I was still making money from books and doing a lot of work, a lot of different kinds of work. But my income went from up here to flatline. My Hollywood income was gone. And the way I felt about it, and I said this to my wife at the time, who, of course, she wasn't thrilled to have our income disappear. But I said, guys are having guys a little older than our son are having their legs blown off or being killed, fighting these really bad guys with this really bad philosophy. I'm just losing a little money, I'm losing a little money, and I'm willing to do that. I think we have to do that because I think we have to speak up for them while they're actually out there fighting these wars. But I won't lie. I never thought not to do it. I never considered playing it safe. I never considered keeping my mouth shut. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't happy. Eventually, we had to sell our house. We had to move. It was a genuine hit on my income. But the funny thing about it, the thing that's interesting now as I look back on it, well, there's two things. One is that if I had not done that, I would now be out of work. I'm now have more movie assignments and writing assignments than I've ever had, probably. I'm probably as busy as I've ever been. That wouldn't be true if I had kept my mouth shut and just towed the line and done what they wanted me to do, because now they've gotten so woke, they won't hire white men after a certain age. Even younger white men are not getting hired right now. My agent just told me, he said, I couldn't get you hired, but you're working as much as any client I've got. So you never know, first of all, what's going to happen when you do what I still think was the right thing to do. But the other, and I think far more important point is this. I know all the guys who kept their mouths shut. I know the guys who towed the line. I know the guys who got the work that I wasn't getting anymore. And I look in their eyes and I listen to the things they say and the excuses they make. And I know for a fact they paid a much, much higher price than I did.